Hi, welcome to the Watch and Whisper channel where if I like it, I'm going to talk about it. Well, today we're talking about episode 4 of the series Dr. Death, and it's on the Peacock channel. Well, this particular episode starts off with Dr. Kirby and Dr. Henderson at an event, and it looks like it's at a real nice little swanky bar. And the event is actually for Dr. Dunce. I think the hospital is putting on this event to introduce him to donors and supporters of the hospital. Well, while he's politicking and networking around with everybody, meaning Mr. Dr. Dunn. While he's doing all of that, you can see Kirby and Dr. Henderson standing off to the side talking and just watching him. And they're saying, they're trying to plot to find out how we're going to take him down because they know that this doctor is not going to do anything different than what he has already previously done, which is hurt patients. And again, both of these doctors, Henderson and Kirby, are very, very concerned about their patients. And now they're concerned about Dr. Dunce and what he's been doing to his patients in the past. Well, in this particular scene, you see that they're talking amongst each other. You also see Dr. Henderson end up in the restroom with Dr. Dunce having a conversation, and Dr. Dunce try to get a little fly with him with his mouth. But that particular scene is not what you think. So just keep watching because the scene in the bar is not really what you think. So the next scene cuts to where Dr. Dunce is now working in uh, I think like a standalone type hospital, and he's hired in as an assistant. Well, that he's walking into the operating room, and you know how he talks really big about he's going to do this, that, and the third. Well, he goes into the operating room and he's telling everybody, "I'm going to do this procedure, that procedure. I need this, I need that." Just barking orders to everybody. So the owner of the actual standalone facility walks in and he tells Dr. Dunce, "Well, it's going to be kind of hard for me to perform surgery if I'm standing over here," because Dr. Dunce had already stood up next to the patient like he was getting ready to get the scalpel and get to cutting. Well, the doctor walks on the side of Dr. Dunce and he tells Dr. Dunce, "Well, can you scoot over a little bit?" And also he tells Dr. Dunce, "Can you pass me a scalpel?" So Dr. Dunce looked at him and like, "Well, I thought I was going to be performing surgery." And the doctor was like, "No, this is where you're going to hone in on your skills, and this is where you're going to get a lot of your training. But you're going to be assisting me because pretty much, although I hired you to work here, I hired you so I can teach you." Dr. Dunce don't like that. I've told y'all in the other episodes, he don't want anybody telling him no or anyone opposing anything that he has to say. Well, at that moment, the physician was asking him, "I need a scalpel." Dr. Dunce standing like this, like, and he said, "I need a scalpel." He told Dr. Dunce, "Look, if you're not going to give me the scalpel, I need you to go ahead and leave." So Dr. Dunce was like, "Well, don't you know I graduated at the top of my class?" The physician, the brother still sitting there doing his surgery, and he looked at Dr. Dunce and says, "I'm fully aware of your credentials. I was the one who hired you. However, if you're not here to assist during this particular surgery, because this isn't the time to have that conversation, if you're not here to assist during this, I'm going to need you to leave." So by this time, Dr. Dunce, you can just look at his face and tell he's extremely irritated. Well, the scene cuts over to he's sitting in a room. It looks like an office. He's sitting in an office and he's talking to Wendy. Remember the other episode I told you? Remember the name Wendy? He met Wendy in the strip club in episode 3. Well, now he and Wendy are sitting on the floor. It looked like eating Chinese food in a office that obviously he's purchased and trying to renovate so that he can have his own practice. He's sitting there telling Wendy all these things he wants her to do because not only do he want his patients to come in and choose him to be their surgeon based on his skill, he wants them to come in and just be wowed by his office and say, "Wow, I love this office. The decor is gorgeous. I want Dr. Dunst to perform the surgery." So Wendy was just asking questions about if he really wanted all these things that he was requesting. And he told Wendy, he said, "Well, if my patients have to choose between me and Dr. X down the street, who has very boring decor, I pretty much want them to choose me." Well, they were talking, and then he got to the point where he asked Wendy, "What exactly do you want to do? What are your aspirations?" And she told him, "I just want to be a mother." And that just made my heart smile because that's a beautiful thing. She said, "I just want to be a mother." But it was at that moment, you can kind of look in his face and tell that he was probably thinking, she and I are not we're not compatible.